Have you ever wondered where the term Black Friday came from? Oftentimes we hear about this term so often, but no one has taken the time to really explain what it really means. Well, today it's all going down. Tyrone Bowman live. I'm talking about why Black Friday is called Black Friday. I did a research online. I looked at a lot of different sources from a lot of different things, and I decided that the best source for me was from Walden University. It gives a detailed and thorough historical perspective as to why Black Friday is called Black Friday. I put the hyperlink in the comment section in case you want to go there and look it up for yourself. So let's get the conversation started. Welcome. According to Walden University, the Friday after Thanksgiving has become one of the most important days for businesses. You know the drill. A day of feasting and football. You head out for the late night or early morning opening of your favorite store. It's amazing deals advertised on the windows. Fellow shoppers gather at the doors. It's Black Friday, the best time of the year to save a bundle. But how did the tradition get started? Why is it called Black Friday? And how is it important it is to businesses? Well, back in the 1800s, so Black Friday has been around, first of all, for well 100 years. Starting back in the late 1800s, many stores sponsored Thanksgiving Day parades. I can remember going to Thanksgiving Day parades growing up in Philadelphia. They don't have them that much anymore. If they do, it's a small, scaled down, cheap version of the real thing. At the end of the parades, the stores opened their doors and the holiday shopping season commenced. While it's impossible to pin down the exact year this tradition began, by the beginning of the 20th century, it was common for retailers to start their holiday season sales as soon as Thanksgiving ended. Thanksgiving used to be celebrated on the last Thursday of November, as decreed by President Abraham Lincoln in the official proclamation. But when a 5 Thursday, November rolled around in 1939, business leaders asked President Franklin D. Roosevelt to move the holiday back a week so the holiday shopping season could start earlier. Roosevelt agreed, and after several years of confusion, Americans settled into celebrating Thanksgiving on the fourth Thursday in November, ensuring retailers can always start their holiday sales before December. So, believe it or not, the Black Friday name comes from Philadelphia. You may have heard that the quote, black, end quote, in Black Friday refers to the day's power to push retailers into the black, a reference to the black ink used on handwritten ledgers to detonate profit. This story, or to denote profit, this story, however, was concocted by retailers to make the name sound more favorable. The real origin of the Black Friday moniker comes from Philadelphia, where the Army-Navy football game is played on the Saturday following Thanksgiving every year. In the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, the game brought in hordes of people, most of whom arrived on Friday. This caused a major headache for the police, who had to deal with all kinds of mischief and mayhem. It was such a pain they began referring to the day as Black Friday. Retailers in Philadelphia, who typically saw a sales spike from all the people in town, started calling the day Black Friday as well. In the 1980s, it went national, shedding its less than glamorous origin and adopting the myth of black ink. Even if the quote going into the black end quote story is made up, the day is still quite important for retailers. It's regularly one of the busiest shopping days of the year, and it sets the tone for the holiday season. So here are some 2024 Black Friday economic statistics. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to check this out. No, Dallas cheated. It was a rigged game by the gambling industry. Let's just tell it the way it is. There's no way in the world Dallas won the game. They were losing the majority of the game. And if it hadn't been for the gamblers in the gambling industry rigging the game, Dallas wouldn't even be considered as a contender for the playoffs. Good to see you too, Compop. So let's, you know what, that's a separate video I'll do, and I'll trash Dallas to no end. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trash the Dallas crying Cowboys. Meanwhile, let's get back to Black Friday. Listen to these statistics. $8.17 million, or 8.17 million, the number of U.S. shoppers who were in a physical store on Black Friday last year. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of shopping. That's a lot of moolah being spent. A lot of dinero, cheddar, cheese. That's a lot of it being spent. And you know what the sad thing about it is? The majority of the people who patronize these stores on quote unquote Black Friday are average consumers who really don't even have the money to spend. Why they do it, I don't know. You will see them out there thick from Walmart to Walmart and any other store that they can find. 87.3 million U.S. shoppers made their purchase online last year on Black Friday. 10.8 billion, that was the amount spent online in the United States on Black Friday, of 10.2% from the prior year. And you trying to tell me that there's no money here in America? Well, where's the money coming from? Seriously, where is the money coming from if people don't have money? Oh, I know a lot of people are using credit cards and things of that nature, but it's, even if it's digital currency, it's still money. $74.4 billion was spent globally in the 24-hour period. That's just last year alone. Within 24 hours, $74.4 billion was spent globally on that one day. And then they're trying to tell me that even in the midst of inflation, even in the midst of job downsizing and people getting laid off and being fired, that people don't have money. People will be spending money like crazy on this coming Friday. What are they going to spend it on? They're going to spend it for ungrateful people. As I said, yeah, I said it. Ungrateful people. I'll gladly. All right, Wimpy. All right, Wimpy. Now, people are going to foolishly, in this economy, go out of their way, and they are going to spend money that they don't have. They're going to get in debt unnecessarily to buy gifts and presents and trinkets and whoozits for people who don't even care about them. They'll even turn around and buy expensive presents for their boss or bosses that's going to fire them the day after Thanksgiving. But they'll do it anyway, or just before the annual Christmas observance, so they don't have to pay out the bonuses. Oh, it's true anyhow. 69% of global purchases on Black Friday was made on mobile devices or through people's telephone. $11.3 million per minute was spent between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Black Friday in the U.S. alone. $11.3 million per minute. That's a lot of money. I'm not telling people that they shouldn't spend their money. I'm just giving you statistics. I'm talking about the origin and meaning of Black Friday. So, if you want to increase sales by your business, consider, now watch this. This is the recommendation that they're giving out. It says learn more about improving sales with a business administration degree. So if you want to increase sales for your business, consider earning a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. A business administration degree can help you gain the leadership skills and business acumen you need to succeed in business. I disagree with that because I know street peddlers who can out-talk, out-think, and outwit anybody with degrees because they have, quote unquote, the gift of gab. They've got the know-how to be able to convince people to spend their money. I'm going to run by these statistics one more time before I end. 8.71 million. That's the number of U.S. shoppers who appeared in the physical store on Black Friday last year. 87.3 million U.S. shoppers made their purchases online on Black Friday of 2024. $10.8 billion, that was the amount spent online in the U.S. on Black Friday, which is up from 10.2% from the prior year. $74.4 billion was spent globally in a 24-hour period. 69% of global purchases on Black Friday were made on mobile devices or mobile devices. $11.3 million per minute was spent between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Black Friday in the U.S. That's a lot of money, y'all. Listen, and this Black Friday will probably outdo the last one. So, if individuals are interested, I'm quite sure they'll make their way. They'll go to Best Buy, Walmart, Target. They don't have too many sales. You know, Target is overrated and overpriced. Yeah, they are. I said Target is overrated and overpriced. So when individuals think about Black Friday, think about how the merchants want it to be that way, and it will continue to be that way. For them, that is the biggest day of the year when they'll make all their money. Never surrender. Somebody said, you agree with me on Target? I've been through Target many times. I've never bought anything. I just looked at the prices in Target, and I'm like, you guys are crazy. Because you're ripping people off. And half of that stuff is not any better than stuff that you can get from Trader Joe's or some of the other stores. And when individuals go there, they think they're getting a higher quality grade of food or a higher quality grade of clothing. And basic essentials, in reality, they're not. So before people take their leap, ask themselves this question: can they afford Black Friday? Or is Black Friday another day of exploitation? Oh, you said you'll get one thing that you can't get elsewhere, and then you leave? All right, I hear you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the next segment. Thank you all for watching. As always, Pop Bad Dude, thank you. Never surrender. Never quit.